You ever hear a sound that just doesn't compute? I mean, a sound so wrong your brain just stalls. I was sitting in my pop's old recliner nursing a lukewarm coffee and I heard it. Crash. Not a dish breaking, not a tree branch falling. I mean the entire front door of my cabin, just exploding. The door flies off its hinges, wood splinters everywhere, and through the dust there she stands. Victoria Davenport, our HOA president. She's panting, her eyes are wide and kinda crazy, and she's holding her iPhone up, live streaming. This is an illegal meeting, she shrieks, her voice cracking. This man is a known menace and I am performing a citizen's arrest for threatening the community. I look at her. I look at the splintered wood all over the floor, and then I look at the woman sitting across from me. In Pops's other chair, the Attorney General of Oregon, the AG, Ann Rayburn, this woman I've been talking to for an hour. She doesn't flinch. She just slowly takes a sip of her coffee. She looks at Victoria, who's still live streaming. She looks at the splintered ruin of my door, and she just sighs. "Ma'am," she says. Her voice just ice. "You have just committed 6 felonies in front of the chief law enforcement officer of this state, and you are helpfully broadcasting your confession. Please continue." This was not how my retirement was supposed to go. My name is Sam Sullivan, Sully. I spent 35 years as a high-voltage lineman. I've crawled through mud. I've hung off poles in ice storms that'd freeze you solid in 10 minutes. I earned my quiet, and my quiet was this cabin, Pop's place. He built this cabin in 1962 on Badger Lake, bought the land for a song and a case of beer. It's not a McMansion. It's hand-hewn logs, a big stone fireplace he built himself, and a porch that creaks in all the right places. It's off-grid. Solar panels, a septic system that just works. It's peace, and Pop's always told me, "Sully," he'd say, "if someone ever wants your land real bad, you find out why. 'Cause it's usually worth more than they're telling you." Then, she showed up. Victoria Davenport. She rolled in 2 years ago from California in a pearly white Range Rover, license plate, the rules. No joke. She got herself elected president of the new Badger Lake Estates HOA that had popped up on the North Shore. This plague of beige houses with lawns that looked like plastic. But here's the part I didn't know yet. 3 of the other old-timers on the lake, the Millers, the Clarks, they'd already sold their cabins, fast and cheap. Right after she arrived, my war started over Pops's dock. It's been here since '62. It's weathered. It's real. She taped a laminated notice to my front door. $500 fine. Unapproved structure, damaging community vistas. I walked right over to her beige palace. She met me on her sterile patio holding a glass of white wine. "Victoria," I said, holding up her notice. "My property line. It goes 50 feet into the lake. My deed is from 1962. Your HOA was, 1998. This dock isn't violating anything. This dock is grandfathered." She just gave me this smile. All teeth, no warmth. That tight Chardonnay smile. "We'll see about that, sweetie," she said. "Everyone on this lake answers to me. Ask the Millers how well fighting me worked out for them." The Millers, the couple who'd mysteriously moved to Florida. That's when she started her photography, circling my cabin, snapping pictures of my solar panels, my woodpile, my vegetable garden. This woman, she had connections. Her husband, Harrison, was some big-shot lobbyist up at the Capitol. And suddenly, I had visitors. The county building inspector shows up. "Sorry, Sully, got an anonymous complaint." He spends 3 hours crawling around and leaves, scratching his head. "Sully," he says, "this place it's over-engineered. It's built better than anything in town." Next day, "Environmental inspector." "Sorry, Sully, anonymous tip. Your septic's leaking into the lake." She checks it. "It's pristine. Better than the new systems. Fire marshal. Hazardous solar installation. Clean. Every inspection I lost a day of peace." But she was building a paper trail, making me look like a problem then. She went on the local news, Channel 8, Community Focus, and I watched this woman stand on my dock, my property, and talk to the camera, all concerned about irresponsible property owners and environmental hazards, and dangers to children's safety. She was good. She was real good. I thought I was just dealing with a power-tripping psycho. I didn't know I was dealing with a criminal, and I was about to find out exactly what Pops meant. She made her first mistake right there. My old union buddies from the IBW, they saw that news report. My old foreman Mitch calls me up. "Sully, that woman's full of it. Your setup is art. You trained half our apprentices." 2 days later, 20 master electricians show up at my cabin. They called it a solidarity safety inspection. They had a cookout. On my lawn, they went over my solar grid, my panels, my wiring, and then they posted a public letter to the county, signed by all of them, declaring my cabin a model of rural safety and sustainable living. It shut her hazardous narrative down. Hard. That's when my poker buddy, Alex, who also happens to be a damn good lawyer, stopped by. He wasn't there for poker. "Sully," he said, "you're not the only one. The Attorney General's office, they're sniffing around HOA corruption. They're looking for a pattern. Harassment forcing old-timers out, mysterious cash buyers. Ring any bells?" It rang every bell, and I remembered what Pops always told me. If they're trying to bully you, follow the money. It always leaves a trail. So I did. I went to the county courthouse, saw Mildred at the records desk. She remembers Pops. I started pulling the HOA's public filings, and oh, it wasn't just messy. It was blatant $200,000 in emergency assessments for shoreline stabilization that never happened. $150,000 paid to Davenport Landscaping and Grounds, a company. I looked it up, owned by her brother-in-law, a company that was incorporated 1 week after she won the HOA election. And the fines, my fines, the Millers' fines, the Clarks' fines, they weren't going into the main HOA account. They were being paid to a community improvement fund. I had Mildred pull the bank records for that fund. It was a private account. Her name and her husband's name were the only signatures. It was a slush fund. This wasn't about community vistas. This wasn't about my dock. This was theft. She was systematically embezzling from the neighbors she'd terrified, while her husband, the lobbyist, used his connections to block any real estate oversight. She was driving out the old-timers using the HOA's own money and my fines to harass them, just so her developer buddies could swoop in and buy the land for pennies on the dollar. This was organized crime. I took this mountain of evidence to Alex. He made one phone call, and that is how I ended up with Ann Rayburn, the Attorney General of Oregon, sitting in Pops's recliner, drinking my bad coffee, planning to take them all down. We knew Victoria was coming. The AG's office. They'd been tracking her. Once her husband's name popped up, the FBI got interested. Agent Diaz. She was the one who suggested the meeting at my cabin. "Let's set the trap," she said. Victoria. She was arrogant. She found out the AG was coming to my place, and she decided to flip the script. She called some right-wing blogger network, started spinning this entire tale about how she was the victim, a brave citizen whistleblower being persecuted by a partisan AG. Her husband was the other party, who was colluding with me to steal her community's rights. Her plan, her genius plan, was to live stream her citizens' investigation, to catch the AG in this corrupt meeting. She was going to be a hero. In the days leading up to it, she went crazy. My solar panel wiring, cut professionally. My boat, cut loose from the dock, found it scratched to hell on the rocks across the lake. And the worst, she poisoned my septic system, poured industrial lye down it, killed the whole system. The repair guy, he was horrified. "Sully," he said, this is a felony. This is a toxic spill. This is dangerous." Which brings us back to the crash. Victoria, screaming about her rights. Her phone held high. Her 3,000 followers watching. "This is my jurisdiction." She screams at the AG. And that's when FBI agent Diaz steps out of my damn kitchen, where she'd been listening the whole time. "No, Mrs. Davenport," Diaz says, pulling out the cuffs. "It's my jurisdiction." The look on her face. Her live stream, her 3,000 Patriot followers, just watched her walk out of my cabin, in handcuffs. Her own comment section just imploded. "Wait, did she just kick the door in? Is that the FBI?" It was. Chef's kiss. The trial? It was short. The live stream was pretty good evidence. Victoria Davenport got 3 years, federal, embezzlement, wire fraud, conspiracy. Oh, and assaulting a federal witness. Her husband, Harrison, he got 18 months for conspiracy and abuse of office. The HOA, it dissolved, bankrupt. We just formed a lake association. No fees, no fines. We just help each other. We had a barbecue. The Hendersons, the old-timers, they sued the estate, and they got their money back. Mrs. Patterson, she moved back. And the AG, she wasn't kidding. She used my case, the emails, the video, the septic report, to pass new state legislation. They call it the Badger Lake Act. But the press, they call it Sully's Law. It requires mandatory independent financial audits for all HOAs and creates criminal penalties for harassment. Oh, and me? I got a check. $45,000. Whistleblower's reward. I used it to set up a scholarship at the local trade school. Pop's Legacy Fund, for kids who want to learn how to build things. Not tear them down, you know. I'm sitting on the porch right now. The loons are calling. The new door. It's solid oak. It's quiet. Pops was right. You just gotta find out why. So let me ask you, have you ever dealt with someone like this? A boss, a neighbor, someone just drunk on their own little slice of power? What did you do? Let me know your story in the comments. And trust me, you're not alone.